All right, let's just get right into it. Have you ever gotten a pay raise? You're feeling pretty good, but then you look at your bank account, you look at your grocery bill, and you just feel like you're actually going backwards? You know that feeling? Like you're running on a treadmill, you're picking up the pace, but you're not actually getting anywhere? Well, if that sounds familiar, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not crazy, and you are not bad with money. What you're feeling is absolutely real, and there's a very specific reason for it.
See, you're caught in what is basically a mathematical trap. It's this hidden wealth killer that's quietly siphoning off your purchasing power every single day. So what we're going to do right now is break down the brutal, cold, hard math of how this trap works and, more importantly, how you can get out of it.
Okay, so the first piece of this trap is a huge misunderstanding of how inflation really works. You know, we hear a number on the news, maybe they say 6% inflation, and our brain just naturally thinks in a straight line. But that is not how the math works. Not at all.
So check this out. Your brain thinks linearly. You take a $100 item, add 6% inflation for 10 years, that's 60%. So it should cost $160, right? Simple, but wrong. The reality is exponential. The best way to think about it is like a snowball rolling downhill. The first year, the price goes up a little. But the next year, that 6% increase is applied to the new, higher price. The snowball gets bigger, and it starts rolling faster and faster every single year.
So what does that mean for our $100 item? Get this. After 10 years, it doesn't cost $160. It costs almost $180. That's a whopping 79% increase. That extra 19%, that's the hidden cost, the hidden tax of compounding inflation. And that's why you feel like your money just doesn't stretch as far anymore. Now here's a really simple mental trick to wrap your head around this. It's called the rule of 72. All you do is divide the number 72 by the inflation rate, and that tells you how many years it'll take for your cost of living to literally double. And look at this table. At just 6% inflation, your rent, your food, everything, it's all going to cost twice as much in only 12 years. And at 10%, it happens in just over 7 years. This isn't some slow drip, it's a fire hose. So that's the first part of the trap, right? This exponential force just eating away at your cash. The second part is that your income, well, it's not even in the same race. You are basically trying to outrun a Ferrari on a bicycle.
And this chart really tells the whole story. Since 1979, because of better technology and new systems, worker productivity has just skyrocketed, up over 63%. We are creating way more value per hour than we ever have before. But just look at that other bar. Have our paychecks gone up 63%? Not even close. Real wages have barely crawled up by 17%.
And the takeaway here couldn't be clearer. There is a giant gap between the wealth you're creating at your job and the money that actually lands in your wallet. All that extra wealth, it's been flowing to company owners and to shareholders. You're stuck in a linear system, trading 1 hour of your time for 1 hour's worth of pay, all while living in an economy where your costs are just exploding exponentially.
But wait, it actually gets worse. You might be thinking, okay, fine, I'll just get a really good pay raise, and I'll close that gap. Well, this is where the final, most crushing part of the trap slams shut. The OECD even calls this a double blow for workers.
Let's just walk through this, because it is wild. So first, you get that 5% raise. Awesome. But that new income can actually push you into a higher tax bracket, which means you're paying a bigger slice to the government. You might also lose out on some benefits you were eligible for before. So when it's all said and done, after you've paid more in taxes and you factor in that compounding inflation we talked about, the actual purchasing power of your new paycheck can be less than what you had before the raise. Think about that. You got a raise and you got poorer.
And this just lays the whole problem bare. If your costs are growing exponentially and your wages are only growing linearly, and the system actually punishes you for trying to catch up, then trying to save your way to wealth by just piling up cash is a losing game. It is mathematically doomed from the start. So what on earth do you do?
You have to change the rules of the game. You have to escape the trap by using the exact same force that's been used against you. This isn't about working harder at all. It's about thinking in a completely different way.
And this is the fundamental principle. To beat an exponential force like compounding inflation, you have to fight back with an exponential force of your own. And that force is compound interest. It's the exact same math, the same snowball effect, but this time, that snowball is rolling for you, not against you.
And what this really means is you have to make a choice. You can stay a linear earner,
just trading your time for a paycheck that's getting eaten alive every single year, or you can become an exponential investor, where you put your money to work in things that grow exponentially over time. Just like inflation, your money starts making its own money, which then makes even more money. That is the escape hatch.
So in the end, the very first step to escaping this whole mathematical trap isn't about picking the perfect stock or some new crypto coin. It's not a tactic. It's a fundamental choice you have to make about who you are. The question you have to answer for yourself is simple. Are you going to keep trading your time for money in a straight line, or are you going to become an investor and let the awesome power of exponential growth start working for you? Your entire financial future really does depend on that answer.